Should get all this going. Hello. Hello, everyone. So, for anyone who's watching and hasn't heard about this year, or I guess during the summer, instead of running a bingo, we're just going to try to do a full speedrun marathon. And so, for anyone who's in the event server already, they probably have seen the announcement. We'll probably link the event server in a few more places again so that people are aware of it. But pretty much the plan right now is that I'm doing this stream today. Next week, I think it'll be Iced. And then after that, might have someone else. But going to do a kind of marathon style presentation of a run. Kind of as an example for people who want to know what to do. I have not practiced what I'm going to do, so I'm just improvising. But yeah, it should be cool. And hopefully we can get some people to submit to the marathon. The submission form is open until June 11th, so it's quite a while to decide what to do. But yeah, I think I can just get into this. Need to decide if I want to link the event server right now. Maybe I'll do that a couple of times. We don't actually have a persistent link, so I just have to generate one. This is the event server. But okay, I'll just get into this. So, welcome to Rain World, this game that is called Rain World, and hopefully during the run you will not see any rain. Because if you do see rain, that means I probably messed up. Or you might see rain right at the start, because I'm going to be doing a strat right to begin with. So other things, this is the normal mode, which is Survivor. It's kind of the default experience, the first one that the developers made. There are a few other modes now with Downpour, but Survivor is as opposed to Monk and Hunter, which are easy mode and hard mode. Survivor is somewhere in the middle, where you're supposed to fight things sometimes, but still generally want to sneak as your first approach to problems. And the other thing to mention, this is a survival game, so you need to get food and get to shelters within a time limit every single day, which normally called cycles. So I have to manage that all the time. And this being 100%, the requirements for that are essentially completing the Steam achievements. They're actually linked to something different in game called passages. And there are a couple of other requirements that I'll mention when I get there. But okay. I hope the auto splitter starts. Did not. Well, that's okay. Oh, it did start. So right off the bat, doing some things that you might not normally see people doing when they're playing this game, which is getting rolls. All the movement tech in this game is stuff that's available from right when you start, but it's not explained. You have to discover how to do things. Like I said, going for food. This is, as far as I know, the only route that actually does this now, because I'm doing a strat to get something to happen that otherwise you cannot get. Also, there's something I didn't check, so I might have to restart my run immediately, but we'll see. One of the new additions in Downpour are slug pups, which is something that was part of old mods. But there is a passage link to them, so I have to do that for 100%. So I wait right until it switches to 2. I'm always nervous of the setup failing every time. It works if you do that. Okay. I don't think I've done splits yet with this version of the route. I should be able to get enough food just for fruits. Hello, Timby. Hopefully you will see very good luck with the pups. It's so hard to wall jump up this. As long as I actually have them unlocked in my save. Which I might not. Oh wow, a slug pup. Amazing. And I have to get one more fruit. So... yeah, I did the manipulation for the slug pup there. Rig the RNG. Okay, once I get into this state, things are pretty good. So now to do what's probably the biggest glitch in this game. Very exciting. We just sleep in the shelter repeatedly. Rigging it to be green is sadly something I did not do. If I could do that, I would. I'm not quite that powerful. Yeah, you don't get progress with Mother if the pup is starving. Oops. So right now I'm just working on the passages that are kind of easy to get at the start. And the other thing is I thought of changing the route a bit with Downpour, because now a few of the passages you can make progress on without needing Survivor first. Which Survivor is the passage for sleeping at max karma multiple times. Yeah, it doesn't apply to all of them though. There's only a few passages that you can make progress on. And I've thought of using the time at the start, but it's just kind of convenient to go to farm raise at the beginning. The slug pup keeps getting to eat repeatedly. It must be happy, right? Okay. So now Mother and Martyr are done. The other relevant one in this case is a wanderer. Okay. So now that's dealt with. I mean, I'm guessing the slug pup also just sleeps. So, first two passages are taken care of, but now we're going to go to a different region. Because there is an NPC that we need to meet. Which, it's also a passage now. So it's kind of just like something that's free to do. We do have that yellow robot eyeball friend, but I have destroyed them to trade them to the local savages to let me pass their toll. Slug cat life is very confusing. Here are the aforementioned scavengers, which the game doesn't present the tutorial for trading with them yet, but it is something that exists. So they're waving me through already, which is nice. I need to be a little careful though. I want to try to get this pink lizard because I might die otherwise, but we'll see. I'll only need to do this thing with the stick one more time. Well, that was a little chaotic. All right. So there's an interesting exploit that we use in this run there, since another passage is for getting full friendship with the scavengers. And after we paid them enough that they wade you through the toll, any extra payments count for the full value. So we basically get the scav maximum friendship in 2 cycles. One going in here and then the next leaving. So, about to get to the first interesting NPC of the run, which it's definitely a thing. Hello, Ice. Just do some cool roll jumps to navigate through this section. There's a blue lizard that lives here sometimes. It's really annoying. I never want to see it ever. Sometimes it's just in this tunnel. Not here today, though. You can see this background graffiti near the tunnel to the top left indicates that this NPC exists here. But first, ooh, scary. Then I intentionally die to go back to the shelter faster. Which, I think we could just quit out now and it wouldn't matter, but previously if you quit out and started, what actually would happen is you would get a slower gate opening animation, so it would take longer to karma cache again. That's why we die there, because you get the fast animation. But okay, it's about time for the spooky ghost monster. So far in the run, this run has literally been karma caching for most of the run so far. It's been like 60% of the time. Thankfully, we're basically done with karma caching now. Using kind of a similar thing as we go, but the actual caching is basically done now. You can see these roll jumps again. Which the roll jumps actually do give you noticeably more height compared to normal jumps. And so it's just kind of safe to do them. Here's spooky NPC number 1, which, of course, that makes sense. Don't worry about it. Okay. Well, after that, we're just headed literally straight back to Outskirts. And we're basically going to start tackling Wanderer, which is the passage for visiting every region. And we kind of do that as we go. There are a couple others that I'm going to work on at the same time. I would like to get the passage for being violent at the same time, but we will see how that goes. It's kind of based on what the creatures do. Yeah, same thing as last time. I'm going to give them a couple sticks. So this way, hopefully I have full scab friendship. And then I don't have to worry about it later. That was weird. Okay. So I'm picking up this interesting color pearl for later. Which has a few things it's used for. I could have tried going after that lizard, but it's kind of a waste of time. Oops. Sorry. So I just passed by a creature is called a pole mimic or a pole plant. Probably one of the scariest things that happens to any new player with this game is touching or encountering a pole plant for the first time. And then they never trust anything in the game again. It's basically the Rain World equivalent of a Dark Souls chest mimic. So we saw the Scav friendship went to full, which is perfect. I'm going to be quitting out, so this pearl actually doesn't matter right now. And our yellow eyeball robot friend was trying to tell me something there, but promptly ignore it because I know where to go. So we're just getting to the drainage system now, which, if there's any advice I could give to someone trying this game for the first time, it's don't go immediately to the drainage system. It seems to happen to a lot of people, though. I think this gate is probably the easiest to find. I was supposed to eat this fruit in the gate, but I'll just do it now. Also, this lizard's in an annoying spot. An interesting thing about the creatures in this game is they're all kind of like simulated things compared to other games. So basically, every single creature is like using its senses. So when you make noise, the creatures actually react to it. Which, that axolotl is kind of in an inconvenient location. It means I know it's not in here. So a lot of people, when they first play this game, also kind of get the idea that the creatures are random, but they're not actually random. The creatures spawn in the same place, but can move through the world randomly from the beginning of a day. But do start with their default location being the same every time. So like all the creatures in the region will all be the same, but they can change where they live. They can do all sorts of different things. But that was a wanderer pip right there. For some reason my splits don't mention drainage system, but it's fine. That was scary. That pink lizard normally doesn't live there. Make a species extinct? Not really. So there was kind of a glitch, which I think is fixed in Downpour, where you could glitch the enemy spawns, but that's not intended game behavior. The creatures do respawn. There is another mechanic in the game, though, that's interesting, which is that the creatures are sometimes replaced by different ones if you've, specifically the player, have killed the creature. For up pipes like that, you need to hold like exactly straight up when you're right under the pipe for it to work. Okay, so like I said, we're taking care of Monk right now primarily, and Wanderer. I am going to try to go for a couple of lizard kills here, because it's kind of like the last convenient time in the run for some of them. I have not harmed anything yet, though, which is different than normal. I could get this pink and the blue now. So anytime you're finding the lizards in this game, you gotta go for the stick ended up in this hole. Just go for this combo with rocks and sticks. That ended up being kind of a waste of time, but now blue's taken care of. So the other two lizards that I'm on the lookout for around here are camouflage lizards and a green lizard, which there's a certain strat I like to use for the greens, so I will probably do that as I normally do. This pipe is always really scary because you're super exposed if a lizard ends up coming through the pipe right when you're there. Okay. That was smooth. So I managed to get pink, blue, and white all there. So I should start to see progress with the Outlaw Passage, although it's only just going to be a little bit. So I'm going to be doing kind of funny strat right now, where I'm doing the same thing I did with Drainage System, except two other regions. One is a brand new region for Downpour, but the other is Garbage Waste, which I'm doing first. Garbage Waste is kind of the intended way to go. This is where I usually get the blue lizard if I don't have a better chance. So, there's a kind of cool little secret over here, which is the scavenger house, where they store all their munitions. I was pretty lucky that I didn't die there, actually. Another thing about this game is that the lethality chance for lizards, at least, biting you is actually random. So greens have a 50-50 chance of killing you as soon as they bite you. I should not have brought this to here, actually. This is kind of... I do want to go this way. Okay, you know what? I'm trying to get the vulture's face right now. I actually just want my stick. I am doing this very strangely right now. So, lizards are afraid of these giant birds. Also, I need to get fruit, but I'll do it in a different spot. And so it's kind of like, for a brief time after they first see you with a mask, they will be quite fearful of you. But the amount of time before they realize that you are in fact not a giant bird and you're just a little slug cat, it's not very long. And sometimes you can get tricked by a lizard seeing you from off screen. Doesn't happen too often. Unfortunately, I don't get to keep this mask. My main objective on this cycle was coming here and getting a green lizard kill, but I also got like 3 or 4 kills, which Outlaw will be almost done now. So that's something that you just kind of want to take care of as you can. Yeah, so this is the first of the 2 regions where I'm doing this kind of starve in the shelter and then quit to teleport back. Yeah, it took quite a while in the cycle because of the vulture. Outlaw might be done actually. Or am I like 1 off or something? Oh, it's done. Okay, I don't need to think about that anymore. Okay, so just as before, quit out, and then we are back to this other industrial shelter. So now, other region to do. I have to go to Pipe Yard. And we're going to be trying to do the same thing. I don't need to be quite as interested in fighting the lizards now, though. The Outlaw's done. It'd be nice if I had a stick here, because there is a camel lizard who lives around here. We'll see where it is, though. I saw it there. It was to the left, so it didn't I wasn't loud enough that it reacted to me. Heard scavengers being weird in here. Something interesting about the scavengers is they really hate overseers, which is what the yellow eyeball is. There are other overseers besides this one, although I think this is the only one we've seen so far. The role of overseers is kind of unclear, actually, in this game, what they are, other than the fact that they kind of work for these important NPCs that we'll be getting to. Well, there's always a chance, I suppose. I don't know if Survivor has a chance for the Red Overseer. They probably do. There's a pink lizard that lives here, but not here right now. Also, game lags every time music loads. But it's only relevant normally when you get to new places, so it's not normally a big deal. And if I've been doing this right, Monk should be just about done too. Okay, so time to go through one of the hardest regions in the base game, Chimney Canopy. Which part of the thing about Chimney is that a lot of the region is spent going vertically. And what you might have thought of with the kind of rock stick combo I did before is that if a lizard is above me, I really don't have a way to do that. Chimney is definitely one of the most active regions for things happening. Press F for the scav. One of the saddest things about this region, though, is that basically half of it is kind of useless. And now even more of it is useless. Actually, it's in some of the runs. But the overwhelming majority of them just kind of go in a straight shot right through. So hopefully I can skillfully avoid lizards. This is an example of a room that's bad, and I know there's a lizard somewhere. Got lucky there that camel lizard saw a vulture from the other screen and decided that it didn't want to be here. I do a cool double jump thing here off the wall. No, instantly died. I thought I'd be quiet enough that it wouldn't hear me. I made too much noise with climbing over that ledge. It was looking the wrong way, so it didn't see me. It just kind of heard, but I thought I would be quiet enough there. That was too bad. Because I have to get the food again. And there's also this blue lizard in here. That happens sometimes. It's not really a big deal. If I die 2 more times, though, then I'll have to do a karma cache, which I'd rather not do. Always try to have extra food in case you need to do that in this run. Okay, well, Chimney Canopy Part 2. kind of scary. I'd rather have my stick back. It's funny that the pink lizard entirely ignored what was happening there as well. I'm gonna be safe this time because I died here last time. Just go up this way instead. This is just getting chaotic. Okay. So normally you're quite exposed in some of these rooms. I do know some movement tech, like this faster version of the pole climbing. It helps a little bit. But you're still pretty exposed if a lizard happens to be above your head. We're going to be seeing our second octopus ghost soon, which exists in this room up here. No, bad lizard. The lizards in this game also have different personalities from each other. Individuals and also kind of the breed has certain aspects. So generally speaking, camo lizards are kind of cowardly. They'll retreat much sooner proportional to their HP compared to most other lizards. Let's put this pearl out now, because I will want it later. So I want to check if monk is done. I did die once. Okay, yeah. Not quite done. Soon though. There's kind of a routing divergence here. I can either get the echo now or later. I'm just going to keep going because I will be exactly here later. And this kind of interesting effect pacifies the nearby creatures as well, so it's useful for a couple of things. Although not quite close enough to pacify this guy. So after Chimney, probably in a good theming for the game, we get to a region that's even harder to climb. The first time I played this game, I think this region unironically took me like, I don't know how long, probably like 5 to 8 hours to finally succeed with climbing it. I am going to try to get also a kill of an orange lizard if I can help it. We'll see what they decide to do, though. There's also a scary creature probably in this room. Which, I can see it. I'm not sure if anyone else can see it, though. But there is a ambush predator that was right below there. I don't have any reason to fight it right now. But if I needed to finish Outlaw still, I would definitely be trying to kill it. Oops. Accidentally threw my rock the wrong direction. I'm looking for a replacement stick for that one that I lost there. It's, might not get lucky with it. Yeah, really low on the sticks. Kind of keeping my eyes peeled for it right now, but yeah, I have to get another one. That is not lucky at all. Yeah. There is a certain thing. I'm gonna try to get one of these if I can, but hopefully it comes out towards me. Okay. And now we make a daring roll jump over top. So the way orange lizards work is they can basically sense what all the other ones can sense. So they can kind of like have shared vision. But their ability to actually get a hold of you is very poor. They have like one of the slowest reaction speeds and bite speeds. So you can kind of just jump on their heads, but they can manage to corner you very easily. So you have to be careful with them. I did not see that camo lizard at all. Well, this is kind of how this spot normally goes. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I will grab a stick, because I have a feeling one is right above my head here. Kind of have to keep your eyes peeled for danger in this place. We will see, because I have a lot of narrow things to climb. And angry lizards. It might be able to see me from there. Yeah. That is annoying. I'm consuming fella. I think I tricked it into going further down that time. So there is one camel lizard still around that I haven't seen yet. Which I still haven't seen it. I'm trying to take all the safest routes I can right now. Because I really don't want to have to do this twice. Tried to make sound to see if it was in here. Doesn't look like it is. It might have fallen into a lower room at some point. Or it might be in this next room here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, time to make a mad dash. Because the shelter is right here. So, another interesting difference is that for the echo that exists in this region, you don't have to prime it like you do the other echoes. This one you just can get. So I got the yellow lizard though, which is good. That's another thing taken care of. Monk is done, Nomad is done. So our passages are now looking pretty good. We have a lot of things taken care of. I'm gonna skip that split. I probably should skip a few of them. Doesn't really matter, I guess. I have to go up this way twice, and unfortunately the camel lizards live right above my head, so hopefully they're not mean. Their AI here is very strange, though. The way the camel lizards are programmed for this room, they really hate being in this room. Because they're supposed to, like, they're intended to basically walk down and get in your way. But it doesn't always work out with the unpredictability of the AI. Sometimes causes genuinely weird things to happen. So this is ghost number 2 for me right now. And then we have to go exactly up to that same place again. That's also a good point, actually, that I haven't really thought of. It could be, like, to get them to eat you and then come up this way. So, in my first ever casual playthrough, after the aforementioned 5 to 8 hours trying to get up the spot that I just did, I got to the top here, right? Found the ghost. And then I was like, oh, I can't go this way. Oh, I guess I have to go do something else. And so I went all the way back down after and went somewhere else. But, since we know some tricks, we can just get right on up here with the stick. There's actually a way to get up here with no stick too that's even crazier. It's really hard to do though. This is really just a pure movement room. It's totally flat, so you can just do things. And some of these Celeste-looking wave dash type things. All right. I mean, you kind of have to get here eventually, right? I mean, I guess technically you don't have to. Okay, so important thing that I have to do here to satisfy 100% requirements. I want to eat till 1 under full. 4 now, 5, 6, and then I leave, and I do not touch that thing again. So, we're about to get to our first non-ghost NPC. Is living in this kind of interesting looking place. Also, you thought this was just a cute game about a slug cat, didn't you? Well, now there's 0 gravity. Don't worry about it. Regular indie game style of the world being a lot more complicated than it seems at first. So this fella is named Five Pebbles, and kind of a lore dump about them is that they're a organic supercomputer that was tasked with figuring out how to break the cycle of reincarnation that kind of exists in this world. There was an ancient civilization that inhabited the city that I just went by. And then Pebbles and a bunch of other of these things called iterators are around and are all trying to work on solving this cycle of reincarnation problem. And right now Pebbles is just explaining that the ancient civilization had a method. But the method is kind of sketchy, and they didn't have a good validation whether it actually worked or not. They just kind of believed it worked. But the Echoes are thought to be people who attempted to ascend using the traditional method, but then failed for some reason. This is basically Pebbles telling us where the end of the game is. And also granted us the ability to talk to robots. Well, not really talk, more listen to robots. And listen to them monologue. If they so choose to do that. But instead, we're going up here right now, because we need to go eat Pebbles' brain. Okay, got 1 piece of brain. Very tasty brain. I got 1 piece of brain, and now I am glowing. Praise the sun. And I have swallowed a 2nd piece of Pebbles' brain to deliver. I just have to get out of here. Pebbles gets really mad at you if you stay around too long and kind of deletes you. So have to try to not do that. Also, I messed up going in here somehow. But now we have to be really slow. And unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to the funny 0 gravity. There's an entire region that you use that's the 0 gravity, but I'm literally in it right now, and so I can get the Wanderer Pit without having to deal with any of the... Probably the most hated place in the game for most people. And I just don't have to deal with it at all. Because of the funny speedrun trick to get in here through the outdoor. Okay. I'll say hello to my mouse for a moment here, because I need to do sign. This is how I remember. This is essentially right now like the biggest time loss that you can have in this run, other than like dying, is failing to press the passage button here. Also, we get to see cool artwork. This is the new passage. It was the first one that I did. So we are going to industrial, and I want that shelter, so we're good to go. Another thing to note about this game is that most people who speedrun it play on keyboard, just because it makes some of the tech easier. But we do use a controller emulator that allows us to do a specific thing that otherwise you cannot do on keyboard. It's kind of sad that we have to do it, but it makes the game more fun. And that specific thing is something called fast rolling, which is literally like a slight control stick angle just gives you better rolls. Normally, I would rather not kill this lizard just because it, whatever. I need to work on the Saint passage at some point, but I will start doing that soon-ish. I have a lot of time before the end of the game to do it, so it's not a huge deal. But alright, we're going to Spooky Spiderland right now, as a fair warning, so if you're afraid of spiders, you probably won't be able to see any of them, but they might be there, so just be aware. We are going to Spooky Spiderland right now. Is another thing that seemingly indie game would not be complete without Spooky Spiderland. This region has very little going on. There is another ghost though, so I do have to be aware of that. And I'm working on the passage for consuming meat right now. So I would like to get a little bit of a little more food than just like a normal amount, because it'll save me a bit for later. But we are switching to carnivore mode. Okay, well, there's a spider immediately. Also, if you didn't have Outlaw done right now, you would basically kill these mice to get it done, which thankfully I don't have to do that. I'm pretty good about finishing Outlaw earlier, so I rarely need to do that myself. So, thankfully I ate Pebbles' brain and I'm now glowing, which is actually one of the requirements for 100%. Because it's like kind of a permanent change. It's one of the very few permanent changes that exists in this game. This game basically has no upgrades, as I mentioned earlier, like no movement upgrades. There's only this glowing. That's the only permanent change that you can get. Try to get a couple of bat flies in here if I can manage to. This room kind of is terrible for it, though. Because the bat flies are even just doubly hard to see in the first place. But okay, hopefully this works. Cool. Okay, that wasn't that bad. That's actually even more food than I need, so... There are these angry spider things that exist, but the approach for them basically is if you just go fast, you'll be fine. So that's the shelter we're going to come back to, but for this echo we have to prime it, so I'm going to go do that right now. This is ghost number 3 now. Which I think this is one of the hardest ones to find. This one is truly just in the middle of nowhere. Oops. Normally I eat bat flies in here. But I already have enough, so I don't really have to worry about it. Yeah. Echo's primed. It seems like we missed the music trigger for the song here somehow. But should get it get on the next cycle. Ooh, scavengers. Scavengers, even when they're your friends, are one of the most dangerous creatures in this game. Because they can just throw weapons randomly. Which, unfortunately, I had to kill that camel lizard at the start of the cycle, but... it's not too bad. Wanderer is just about done now. I'm guessing that split is for after the echo. And there's a slight change this time. So, as opposed to the echoes at the previous times where just saw them and the screen went blank immediately, this time can actually understand what the echo is saying. So that market communication that we got from Pebbles is good for robots and spooky ghosts. You have no name. Oh man, it even got a second piece of dialogue. Terrible. Yeah, that's like a 1 second time loss. So this spider's creeping me out. Okay. The way the spiders work is they're initially timid, but then kind of build up their confidence to attack you. And that one was around me for a little longer than I would have liked. Also, cool song. It's too bad we dodged the music trigger on the way in somehow. next region we're going to here is Shoreline, which is Water World Part 2, which the original Water World was drainage system, but basically didn't see any water there. But this time we're actually going to see some water. When you start the game, this is where Iggy is initially trying to direct you to, is Shoreline. This has robots number 2. Also, swimming in this game is very odd. It's something that's probably the thing that new players struggle with the most. Because one of the things that is very not obvious when you first do it is you really don't want to press jump underwater almost under any circumstance. Which is kind of the opposite of swimming in most games. I like to bring the fruit here, because it actually helps. Let's see if the giant sea monster is here today. Do we get a giant sea monster sighting? Ooh, could be. Could be giant sea monster. Giant sea monster sighting. Thankfully, it was not in my way at all, so... Somehow, these jellyfish give me food when you eat them. It's kind of weird to me, but... Also, I have to remember something that could be a potential routing change that I might do right now. I like to grab the pearl here just for old time's sake, but I probably should skip it. So Downpour added a few pearls to Sky Islands that are definitely more convenient to get. So regurgitate the piece of Pebbles' brain, eat pearl, obtain neuron. And so we show up and get to about here on the screen. Throw this. Say hello moon, say goodbye moon. Normally we're looking for that dialogue line, but in practice, as long as Moon is holding the neuron, we count that for 100%. That is one of the requirements that we have. It's kind of a dumb requirement, but it's a really old one, and it's just has been part of the run for a long time. Okay, so once again, say hello to the mouse. There was a kind of a funny thing that used to happen in this run that is gone now. Basically, the first time that you meet Moon, it's not really clear what you're supposed to do. And so you can actually consume Moon's brain, which Moon, you could probably tell, is not in a good state. And so eating a piece of her brain is quite painful. I'm looking for Chimney Canopy. I was looking for Scott Islands there. Okay, this is what I want. Which, I skipped the ghost last time, so I'm gonna get the ghost now. I have to get the ghost now. Yeah, the thing is, I imagine there's barely never anyone who played the game, and on their first time where the context of that cutscene would really matter, they managed to bring a neuron to Moon instead of just going through the thing normally. So it kind of makes sense, but yeah, they did patch that with Downpour. Which... normally, I like to visit this ghost earlier in the run, just because I don't have to dodge his dialogue. But this time, we're dodging dialogue, so that's okay. Behold this empty husk of a land. That's not that spell. So, a few things I'm still working on here. I'm working on not hurting any creatures, which is going okay so far. Now that I've met Moon, I can get progress with these special unique colored pearls, so I need to touch 3 of them, so now I've touched 2. There's a few on the way to the end of the game, so... and I need to eat meat. This is kind of an annoying spot for this pink lizard to be. If I hadn't got a pink lizard earlier, this would be the last chance to get one. But for the Dragon Slayer, I am only missing the black lizard. Which, another change in Downpour is that, like, any of the new added ones can count. The new added ones are not that convenient to go after. This. So here's one of these pearls. So now I've touched all the pearls that I need to. And we are continuing. Yeah, there's a caramel that I will encounter later, but that caramel is the one that comes to mind that there would be a chance with, but it's caramels aren't very easy to kill. They're like green lizard levels of tankiness. Also, this is kind of scary. Stay away from me. The winged centipedes are another creature that behave quite similarly to the spiders, that they kind of build up bloodlust. Normally you don't go this way, but I was deciding to for reasons, just because it looks cool. Is there a blue lizard in here? No, okay. This is where the echo lives. then now I have to go sleep. This is typical Sky Islands. Unfortunately, I have to go this way, where literally these two things went into. And they are causing chaos here. Okay. I might still get out of this. That was unfortunate. Yeah, he's injured. Okay, cool. Yeah, those lizards were fighting. So that blue was injured and didn't quite manage to keep a hold of me. Hello, Hoku. That seems to happen to me a lot, actually. It's specifically this spot. Okay, well, that could have been a little smoother, but... I'm gonna just check what my passages are looking like too right now. Hunter's kind of low, actually. Scholar's done though, which is good. This is coming along okay right now. Which I can never remember where I'm doing my splits in this run anymore. It doesn't really matter. Things are on pace pretty okay right now. This room even has another special color pearl in it. I didn't even realize. There are so many spots to get it now. It used to be kind of a problem actually with Scholar that if you forgot one of two pearls, you had to improvise strangely, which now you never have to. Okay, so it's time for the probably biggest RNG cycle on the run, and I got a nice lawn cycle, so hopefully this works out okay. We have a long way to go, and we have to deal with probably my least favorite creature in the game, the reindeer. But we'll see how this goes. Yeah, because you could totally get that pearl on the way out of here too. I am still trying to satisfy Saint as well at the same time. It would be nice if I had my Squid Cicada still. Don't really need it. Right, and just about to say goodbye to Sky Islands, and we're actually going back into the second region, the one that we entered way earlier in the run. We are back into Farmer Rays. But now we're seeing kind of the upper half. We were at the extreme low end of Farmer Rays before, but now we actually get to see why it's called Farmer Rays, kind of. Although I guess the room with the ghost does have the worm grass and stuff, but did not get to see it for very long. Also, there is a thing here that I can never quite remember how to do at the time. Which is, I want to think about eating this vulture grub here. but I'm going to talk this through as I go. So for friend, I want to get into a situation where I'm caching but have less than 4 food. And so I need to cache using a 2 food. And so I want an odd number of foods. And this will let me have an odd number. Because basically the only thing I'm going to eat after here are 2 foods. I actually do want to eat this to get odd number there. Which the other way you can get an odd number is eating to full. But this is just kind of easier. Ooh, lucky deer. It's making its way in here. Okay. So, hopefully this deer decides to move soon. Yes, this is good. These things can be kind of horrible, depending what they decide to do. But yeah, this is farmeries, which apparently, I guess, this area in the distant past was used for farming. They kind of have totems and things to, I don't know if they have, like, a specific significance, but I've always thought of them as being kind of like good luck things. So we're coming up to kind of a funny glitch here as well, which we can't do in this room because the terrain is not very nice. Yes, the grass really wants to hug you. And wants to obligate you with a dirt nap, so to speak. Eating these tiny centipedes now is kind of convenient. Also, there's a change in this room with downpour, which is amazing. And it's funny glitch time, hopefully. So basically, you can see how the deer is tracking me. Hopefully this works out. Totally normal, don't worry about it. But basically, the deer was trying to look at this thing I'm holding on to. He is really trying to look at this thing I'm holding on to. Which, I sadly can't eat these things right now, but I'm gonna come back for one. And the thing that it was trying to look at, like it was trying to track with its eyes, just ceased to exist. Which causes the game to glitch out in an interesting way where the deer's body suddenly moves down at an extreme speed. It basically moves like a long distance down in one frame. And it goes fast enough that its body goes into the ground. And that basically causes the game to repeatedly crash and sort of turns off stuff in the background. Which, it saves us having to ride the deer again, which sadly we miss one of my favorite songs in the game, but you know, that's the price of speed. So, there is another ghost here. This is the last ghost. A little beast. So that's done now. Which I guess I had to split for that for some reason. But now it is time for the part of the run that messes me up generally the most. Which is trying to make friends. Because making friends is not easy. Especially when it's a lizard. / alligator. Although, it is significantly easier now in Downpour. Let's see how this goes. This is kind of the ideal setup. So basically, I rest. And then I can just cast repeatedly with this centipede I'm holding. So we'll see how it goes. This is different than it used to be too. I had a setup here that I used to really like, but now you just walk off and hold up. There is another pearl if you notice up there, but that pearl is kind of hard to get, and I don't need it now. No, let's see how the lizards go. That's scary. So, also scary. Come on, Caramel Lizard, where are you going? Okay. I wish I knew the blue was literally in there, though. Because that would have made my life easier. Oh, I thought I nibbled on this. I don't want to fully eat it, I just want to have, like, its body with me. Well, time for Friends Part 2. I thought this caramel lizard lived in a different spot, but maybe it does live over here. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to cash a bit extra for Saint. One death isn't a huge deal, but Which, these caramel lizards are actually one of the easier varieties to become friends with. They're just, also, I don't need 2 friends, but you know what? Yo, a slug pup again? Yeah, you live this way? This is ideal. As long as it can manage to get its butt through here. Stop fighting friends. Okay, you live in here, right? This is chaos. Okay. Someone better come in here. Yeah, there's one lizard in here now. Which, this is going to be interesting, but... Hello, olives and ham. Okay. So, friend acquired. No, it doesn't go up faster for 2. Unless that's a change. That could be a change. Okay. So, friend's going, this is going. Okay. I don't know if I can force starve right now. I hope I can. You know what? This might just be... I need to throw in these... I need to throw this out of here. You stay in here. That's not that bad. Just have to do this a couple times and we'll be good. So Saint is, I'm just 1 behind on, like I was saying, but it's okay. 1 extra cash for Saint's not too bad. That was mostly smooth. Where are with these centipedes? There's so many of them here. Because I cannot rest with all this food here. But okay. Just eat these out of here. Grab this. Nibble. Okay, so friend should be done now, hunter will be done, and then I just need 1 thing of Saint. Which I literally will probably just eat the food in here to finish that off and rest normally. And this will finish off Saint. Okay, so after this, there is basically only 2 things I need to do. As you can see, all the passages, except for 1, are completed. And I'm just missing Black Lizard. So I'm gonna go take care of that right now. I still have this friend following me, which There's food here to get. This probably is not the fastest way to do this, but also, I'm not sure what this caramel lizard behaves like here. I don't even think it lives in this den. I think it lives in a different spot in the room, but technically I could kill this caramel lizard instead of a shadow lizard, but that sounds hard. If I had an explosive stick, I might try it, but yeah, that caramel lizard is an interesting spot for it, to say the least. So this is the Centipede Funhouse. Just gonna crawl on by and not have them find me at all. The game decided to give us the biggest centipedes it possibly could. I actually would like to get this mole here if I can. I think I'm just gonna keep going though. Oh, it's in here. There's a chance of getting it. Yeah. Thought I saw one ahead though, so I'm just gonna keep going. It's best if you can get it around in this room or the next one, but don't always get lucky with where they are. Well, we're going in the tunnels to hunt for moles. Which there's kind of like... Oh, is there one in here? There is. No. Okay. I might have got it. No, I lost it. That's sad. That's completely normal and not horrifying. So basically there's a dream cutscene that always plays from this spot. And doesn't play from the above one. So the above one is slightly nicer if you can manage to get it. Also, trying to kill a mole in this room is sometimes not an easy thing to do. As evidenced by that chaos. Oh. Well, it's injured. It might let me go. This is being more chaotic than I want it to be. Okay, well, I guess I'll go up this way through the room. This is something which can become not quite very smooth in a hurry. Don't tell me you... Okay. I got one. Okay. So now I just have to rest. There's a pile of lizards directly in my way. Well, that could have been a lot smoother, but you know, it's okay. We got the objective eventually. Okay, so last thing we have to do is just head to the actual end of the game. Which, something interesting about Downpour is that it added kind of some new endings, but this is the regular game ending that I'll be getting. Oh, I did get that mole. You know, if I knew that, I could have saved myself a lot of pain. Oh well. So these are all the passages now. So now I have completed the basically requirements of 100% for this game. There's one thing left to do. Which is run like crazy away from moles and then go to spooky. But not spooky in a spider sense, spooky in a weird canting people sense. Dying to fall damage there is a classic. That's another thing that's not obvious from just watching this game, is that you can actually die to fall damage. And a lot of people end up playing the game and not finding out that you can until very long into their playthroughs, because you have to fall an extreme distance, but it does exist. I'd say normally people find out about it going into Subterranean, actually. It's like maybe the normal place that people die to fall damage the first time. The other main speedrun category that I've put the most time into for this game is any percent, and so in that one, this is the ending you pick, and I have a lot of practice with this specific area in the game, and being able to do it without basically being able to see. I also kind of have the habit of super focusing when I'm here. True, only talented individuals manage to die after the Guardians, though. The end of this game is weird, which, if the end of this game wasn't weird, then that would be kind of against the style of a lot of other things in the game, so it's good that it's weird. But yeah, we are just almost there. It's just time for movement in low gravity, reduced frame rate land, which is actually one of the weirdest things about this game, is that this area literally just has a slower physics frame rate. Which throws off your timing for everything, unless you kind of know what's going on. Yeah, and also just people's computers lagging with the screen effect too. I did start running this game at first on a laptop, so I know about that. Nothing will be as bad as Kuno's old computer, though. Their computer literally just lost, like, entire minutes from any percent, just for, like, the gate loading time. It was something to see. Yeah, I actually really like that strat there. I might start doing that from now on. I need to actually time that. Let me see if that's better. This is the very peaceful and kind of interesting song going on here, but starting to get into the part where we can barely see what's happening anymore. So, coming up on time, which basically is going to be right when I get to the bottom of the screen and I'm on the next screen is when time is. Which, that was a really good run, actually, considering it's on downpour. That's like 5 minutes worse than the record on the old version of the game, and that one didn't have extra region and things to do. So that was a really good run. So, this is what the ending of Rain World is. There are these giant monsters that definitely don't resemble anything. Especially, Slugcat definitely doesn't resemble the same thing that these giant monsters also resemble. This is on 1.9. I did all the downpour stuff too. Which, like, the downpour stuff is kind of like, it doesn't add that much. There's basically only running to, whatever it's called. Running to Pipe Yard is the only real change. Also, I'm sorry this is so loud. It's just the way it is. Hello, Wamba. It'll be in something, for sure. Eventually, Goku. It'll be in something. It's just I think people are unfamiliar with the region, and speedrunners, we like to just do the same thing over and over. So going to new places, that's scary. The Pebbles is also kind of at the halfway point of this run, too. Also, Iced, I don't know if you want to add, like, a Nightbot command that says about this thing. Because now would be a good time to talk about this again. We are having a Rain World speedrun marathon that we would like people to submit runs to. The forum exists right now and is in the event server. It closes June 11th. It does not have to be a speedrun. You can submit something else if you think it's interesting, a score run, things like that. Basically just anything that's interesting. You could do the challenges if you want. If you're feeling confident in some of the more interesting challenges, if you want to show those off. We just want to have a lot of different stuff if we can help it. Is 17 that food one? Which one's 17? Oh, and did you mean all the challenges, Hoku? That is quite a task for one sitting. Oh. Yeah. I did all the challenges so long ago, I kind of don't remember most of them. That's okay, that means you can do the 69 challenge speedrun. Which would totally be a valid category for it, I think. And so with this, Slugcat is quote-unquote ascending. This is what was in this place that none of the ancients had ever returned from, and they didn't know what was down here. And it turned out to be giant sea monsters, and whatever this is. I'd say don't think about it too much, but this is what Slugcat's interpretation of Ascension is. When I do the Rejects and Friends one, it's going to be with Monk, so you get to see the new cutscene. That's cool. But for Survivor, we're just stuck with the old cutscene. This used to be a part of the timing. The reason it's not is that the sea monsters are kind of random, and whether they help you during the swim. And also, the swimming just strictly favored controller, which for some people is kind of relevant. For me, the thing about it always was just that the worms are RNG, and having, like, the main run I was interested in only being, like, 13 minutes long, and then a minute of variance right at the end was kind of bad. No, not difficult on controller. It was just strictly better to do the swim on controller. But alright. That is Rain World. I'm not going to host anyone or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of go back to the title and then end. But yeah, I don't know if Iced is going to do one next Sunday. I might do another run next Sunday. But yeah, we're trying to have things like this. I'd like to see Hunter all objectives. So, well, we'll see. Maybe do Downpour Cat next week. Maybe I can learn the Gourmand food quest in a week. And try that out. Who knows? We will see, but keep your eyes open for that. I didn't record this run, but I'm pretty sure this is probably the record for 100% for Downpour also. But I don't know what time Ice got yesterday. But I'm guessing this is the record for this right now. Just by the fact of not many people having done it. Yeah, also, if you have a run that you would like to show to people, yeah, please just let us know. We can literally just do more of these until we actually have the marathon. It's funny that it doesn't show Ascended for the objectives as a Survivor. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which is all of them, including the 4 new ones. It's totally fine to just use the cheap menu unlock for the slug pups if you want to try the run out. Yeah, you don't need to do the food quest. I'm pretty sure I have the food quest done on this file. But okay. Trying to see if I have any last thoughts here. Basically, there will be something next Sunday as well on this channel again, which it'll either be me or someone else. I don't know if Ice is going to do it. We'll see. There'll be something. But just to say this again, we are having a Rain World speedrun marathon called Summer in Shoreline. And it's going to be running July 7th to the 10th, sometime in there. Submissions close June 11th. So basically you have a month if you want to submit something. Everyone can submit up to 4 things, and also does not have to be speedrun. If you want to do a score run or you have something else you want to do, please go for it. We want to see people doing things. But yeah, I think I'm just going to send this back to the intro screen right now. And thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good rest of your day and your week. I don't know if NanoFair is streaming yet. Normally they're doing that on Sunday. But anyhow, see y'all later. This was a good run, so I'm quite happy with it. And I need to practice. Bye.